Hello everyone! Finally I found a laptop that I really love, and it's the Dell XPS 15 with the OLED display. Now going over the specs, it has an i7 9750H processor, OLED non-touch display, NVIDIA GTX 1650 GPU, 16GB of RAM, 512GB of M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD, Windows 10 Home 64-bit, 720p camera, killer wireless AX 1650 card, fingerprint reader integrated into power button, chiclet keyboard, precision touchpad, 97 watt-hour battery, weighs about 4 pounds. Now on the right side, a wedge-shaped lock slot, battery gauge button and indicator, USB-A 3.1 Gen 1, and an SD card reader. And on the left side, there's the power port, USB-A 3.1 Gen 1, HDMI 2.0 port, Thunderbolt 3, and a headphone combo jack. If you have watched my previous videos, I've reviewed the Razer Blade Pro 17 2019, and then I really wanted to like that laptop because it's pretty awesome. You can game and it's a big screen, but unfortunately for me the display wasn't good enough, so that's why I returned it. As well as the keyboard on that one is also not well spaced. If you're using another laptop like a Dell or something else that has a standard spacing or standard keyboard, and when you go back to the Razer, so you have to get used to again. So that's why it's kind of frustrating. It was two reasons: the display and the keyboard. So I bought this laptop because it has the OLED panel, which is really amazing, guys. I have been using this for almost 2 months now. This is a 2019 model, but this is still relevant in 2020 as of this video. The reason for that is that even though the 2020 XPS 15 came out already, but they don't have the OLED yet. I wonder if they're gonna have an OLED version of the 2020 though, because it looks like the theme is going to 16:10 aspect ratio, and we know that OLED panels usually are only 16:9, unless if they're gonna get a custom panel for their laptops. That would be really awesome. Now for the pros and cons. Now let's start with the pros. First, I really like that it has a standard layout keyboard, and each keys are actually well spaced. So if you're gonna use a different laptop and then you come back to this laptop, you don't have to get used to it again. The keys really have a nice travel, and this is how it sounds like when you're typing. I like they made the trackpad just big enough, not too big, not too small, so you won't be hitting it constantly when you're typing. This lid is actually really sturdy, that it doesn't wobble. And next is the USB connection. So it still has the USB-A ports. For me, the 2020, they let go of the USB-A port. I'm kind of lucky I bought this because I can't really move to USB-C yet, because a lot of my stuff are USB-A's, and then yeah, it's kind of suck to just always use a USB hub when you're moving around. And most of all, why I'm keeping this laptop is the OLED display. The display is really nice. It's so vivid, it's so sharp, it has great viewing angle, so I can't really complain. I can overlook some minor issues with it because it has a great display. And then the cons, what I don't really like about this laptop. If you're charging the battery, this side actually gets hot. Next is you can't open the lid just with one hand. Oops. Okay, I won't do it. So you have to open the lid using your two hands. And next is the feet becomes wobbly. When you open the lid, it's actually a little bit wobbly. You can hear that knocking. That's because there's a gap. In here, if I tap in here, nothing. But here, and it doesn't happen if I close the lid. So I don't know if the unit I got is defective. Maybe the other ones are just fine, but this one is wobbly. Let me know in the comments, guys, if your unit is wobbling just like mine, or is only mine is having this issue. So another thing I don't like about this laptop, that it's because it doesn't have the Ethernet port, but I already know that anyway before I bought it, so it's kinda okay. And I wish it has the Windows Hello IR camera, but the fingerprint reader is also fine. Now let's talk about the big elephant in the room, burn-in issue. So I've been looking around in the internet. I couldn't really find a complaint regarding this laptop burn-in issues. So I think the OLED panel is just fine on the laptops. They may have changed something compared to the OLED TVs. How to prevent burn-in is to lower the display brightness. So if you have this always at maximum, this is really risky for burn-in. So I usually just put it somewhere in the middle. And next is set the display to turn off when idle in 1 minute. This will prevent burn-in, but also saves the lifetime of the panel. So here's how I do it. Go to change screensaver, and then have it blank, and then set this to 1 minute and apply. By the way, guys, I'm charging this laptop right now. Look at the temperature. It goes 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So it can get really hot. Oh, 126 actually. So it's something that you should be aware of, not to place this something a closed area. So that's all for this video, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you find this video helpful, and don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my new videos. I'm also planning to make a video of my other stuff, like my Tesla. So don't forget to subscribe, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.